What is going on, everybody? Super Yankee for Life here once again, bringing you guys NFL picks week number 14, I believe. I think it is. Didn't do it last week. My bad on that one. But I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Starting with 1 o'clock games, of course. Dallas at Cincinnati. Dallas coming off a much needed win over Philly, and Cincinnati is coming off one over San Diego. Dallas needs this game more to stay pace. Well, actually, both teams need this game to stay pace in the wild card and division races. I think Dallas needs this win more. I'll say Dallas wins by a field goal, although it wouldn't surprise me if they blow it and cost themselves a playoff spot in both the NFC East and the wild card. San Diego at Buffalo. Buffalo, I guess, although this is a game that could go either way. St. Louis coming off a win over San Francisco, overtime win. Thank God a winner was actually decided in that game, like the last one. I guess I'll go Buffalo, although I could have went with either team, but two teams are just playing for the future, I guess. Kansas City at Cleveland. Kansas City definitely playing with a heavy heart still, given the circumstances of that. Last week they played hard for their city, their community, which was great to see. Cleveland coming off a win over Oakland last week, I believe. I'm going to go with Cleveland this one. I expect Kansas City I would expect nothing less from Kansas City to play hard the rest of the year. Again, dealing with some real messed up stuff over there, given everything that happened. You guys know what I'm talking about. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Indianapolis coming off a dramatic last-second win over Detroit last week. Tennessee, I don't know, I think they lost last week to, I think Houston it was, I believe. I don't know. Just Tennessee's one of those teams that is building for the future as well. Indianapolis, who would have guessed 8-4 after what was it, like a 2-14 year last season? Unbelievable. Andrew Luck deserves a lot of credit for that. Didn't play the prettiest last week, but you got the job done. Let's see here. Chicago at Minnesota. Chicago's coming off an overtime loss to Seattle. Minnesota's coming off a loss to Green Bay. Pro tip for Minnesota Viking coaches: just give the ball to Adrian Peterson if he's red hot. Just don't throw the football if Adrian Peterson's running the football well. Just don't throw it. If he gets tired, if he starts to slow down, that's when you give the ball to Christian Ponder and say, hey, try to make some plays with throwing the football. Just don't mess with a good thing. Just don't mess with a good thing. I mean, he had over 200 yards last week, including that ridiculous 80-yard touchdown run. Although Green Bay's tackling was a little bit atrocious. Although Adrian Peterson, my God, he is just a freak of nature. As far as the winner for this game, I'll go with Chicago. I just think defensively they will get after Christian Ponder. I'm pretty sure Adrian Peterson will get his touches and his yards, but they'll live with that if they can stop Christian Ponder, which I think they will. Chicago will win that game. And San Diego at Pittsburgh. San Diego coming off a loss. I believe they're 4-8 right now, and they're just completely terrible. Pittsburgh. Good news for Pittsburgh fans. Ben Roethlisberger, for the first time in almost a month, he will be back in the lineup. That will make all the difference in the world, I believe, and they'll win the game, I believe. I think by a comfortable margin. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Philly coming off a loss to Dallas. Tampa Bay either came off a bye or I can't remember some of these teams. Although Tampa Bay, I believe Tampa Bay is coming off a loss. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but Tampa Bay is another team around the bubble as far as a wild card berth is concerned. Greg Schiano's playing, making these guys play hard, even to the final whistle. Although you can tell that to the New York Giants fans about that. as a winner for this game, I'll go with Tampa Bay because they need this game a lot more than Philly does. Philly, they're trying to play spoiler at this point. Nick Foles is going to be the starter for the rest of the year. Michael Vick's going to find himself on the bench. This could be Andy Reid's final year. In my personal opinion, I think it is his final year as the Eagles head coach. Just want to see where this team goes from here, and just a lot of expectations for this team down the drain for the second year in a row. Baltimore at Washington. Now this game, as far as Baltimore, I think they got the division wrapped up for the most part. I think they got this. I mean, they split one with Pittsburgh. I think they've beaten Cincinnati, I believe, once. I think they're going to play them again later on towards the end of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. As far as Washington, coming off a win over the Giants. Baltimore's coming off a loss to Pittsburgh, by the way. Washington needs this game a lot more than Baltimore does. As far as playoff positioning and wild card and NFC East, along with Dallas. RG3 is playing out of his mind. Now, he didn't play spectacular last week, although in the NFC East, he's thrown 9 touchdowns to 1 interception in the last 3 games against divisional opponents. Eagles, Cowboys, and the Giants last week. That is just phenomenal work from a rookie. In my opinion, he is the rookie of the year. You can say Andrew Luck, you can say Russell Wilson from Seattle, that's fine too. But my personal opinion, I think it's RG3 who's going to win the Rookie of the Year award. As far as a winner, one of those games I can go back and forth either way. I went with Baltimore. I want to put my faith in Joe Flacco to be able to be a consistent starting quarterback. Going 16 of 34 he did last week against Pittsburgh is not going to cut it. I would like to see more consistency from him. If so, the Baltimore Ravens will get to where they want to go. Remember, he outplayed Tom Brady in the championship game last year. Unfortunately, Billy Cundiff missed one of the easiest field goals he'll ever see in his life and kept him out of the Super Bowl. So, I will with Baltimore. You can go with Washington. That's fine too. One of those toss-up games that I could have gone either way. Atlanta and Carolina. Atlanta's coming off a win, I believe, last week. Carolina's coming off a loss to Kansas City. Atlanta's just one of those teams that I think, they've got pretty much the NFC South wrapped up. They wrapped it up last week. This is going to be important for them to play hard for the rest of the regular season to, I guess, show people that, hey, we're not going to let down in the playoffs like we did last couple of years, because they had the best record in the NFC 2 years ago, and they got absolutely destroyed by Green Bay. Last year, they laid an egg in the playoffs against the Giants. They only managed to 2 points. Unbelievable. As for Carolina, one of those teams that's just rebuilding around Cam Newton. They should have a top 5 pick. I'm going with Atlanta to win this game. And then perhaps the most talked about team with the most expectations with team as far as quarterbacks. The most scandalized team, I should have said that to begin with. The most scandalized team in the NFL is the New York Jets, or most polarizing team in the NFL is the New York Jets against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Sanchez was benched last week for Craig McElroy, who his one and only, I wouldn't say his one and only drive, but his first drive he did pretty well. Scored the only touchdown in the game and they won. In my personal opinion, he should be starting, not Mark Sanchez, not Tim Tebow. I would rather have him as the starter because he knows what he's doing. He played at Alabama. He's a smart cookie. I don't know why I said smart cookie. That was just weird. I just think that in my personal opinion, he gives them the best chance to win right now over Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow. So I don't know why Rex Ryan decides to stick with him. Only God knows why. As far as Jacksonville, they've played hard the past few weeks, but I just don't think they can beat the Jets this week, which I don't know why I would say that as well. Miami at San Francisco. Miami's coming off I'm trying to think of... sometimes I just don't think, and I do these things, so... I think they're coming off a win, or correct me if I'm wrong. They're probably coming off a loss, whatever. San Francisco is coming off a loss, overtime loss. I do know that, to St. Louis. As far as this whole quarterback situation goes with Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith, and with John Harbaugh going back and forth, or Jim, or is it Jim or is it John? I'm pretty sure it's Jim. I'm correct. Jesus. In my personal opinion, I think Kaepernick gives them the best chance to win. That's just my personal opinion. I think he gives them a element of elusiveness, being able to scramble. Not saying Alex Smith didn't do that before. I think he was capable of doing that himself. I just think he just adds a different skill set than Alex Smith, and I think that's why I think he should be the starter over Alex Smith. Now, it's unfortunate that Alex Smith got hurt. He lost his job because of that. But, when you're a teammate of his, when you're a teammate, you can't really worry about the guy who's hurt. It's going to be about the next man up, whether it's at running back, wide receiver, or the most important position on the field, which is quarterback. As far as the winner, I'll go with San Francisco on this one. Detroit at Green Bay, the Sunday night game at Lambeau Field. I would say Green Bay wins this game. They really need to distance themselves from the pack in the wild card, catch up with Chicago for the NFC North division title. Or I think they're tied for the NFC North lead right now with Chicago. I think this is going to be important. They re-signed Ryan Grant, their former running back. I think this is going to be critical for them to run the football. If they can just get some balance, I'm not talking about crazy, 15, I'm not talking about, 30 carries a game. If they can average, 15, 20, 25 carries a game, something like that, and they can run the ball somewhat effectively, my goodness, that offense will be just as scary as it's ever been, with Aaron Rodgers being able to just distribute the football to Jennings, I think he's either back or he's on his way back. Donald Driver, James Jones, Michael Finley, Randall Cobb, who's come on strong as another option to go to. That offense will be just as scary as it will ever be, or as it's ever been, whatever, poor grammar or English on my part. As for Detroit, what can I say? Coming off of last-second loss where you had a 12-point lead in the fourth, and Andrew Luck just went ham. And Detroit, what can I say? I don't know what else to say. I mean, they've had so many opportunities to close out games, and they just haven't done it. It'll come with experience, but they'll probably have to have themselves a top 10 pick in next April draft. And then the Monday night game, Houston at New England. I am really looking forward to this game. We're going to find out just how good Houston really is. I thought Houston looked really good that one Sunday night game against Chicago. We're going to find out just how good this team really is, because if they manage to go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots, then that's going to really send a message to the AFC saying that we are seriously for real, that last year, if it wasn't for injuries, we would have been in the Super Bowl, and we probably would have won it. And I think if they can go in there and beat New England, that would say a lot. Too bad I don't think they will. I think Brady and the Patriots will slow down the defense, and as far as defense, I expect this to be a high-scoring game. I expect this to be a high-scoring game somewhere in the 37-34 area. in favor of New England. This is going to be a shootout, in my personal opinion. I think both defenses are going to really struggle. Even Houston's with J.J. Watt, who I think should be Defensive Player of the Year. If he's not Defensive Player of the Year, we got something wrong. I think he's got like 15.5 sacks, a lot of or passes knocked down, or hence the name J.J. Swat. In case you guys didn't know that, but yeah, so I'll go with New England in a very close shootout type of game. Those are my picks. I said again, disagree if you want to. It's your opinion. It's your right to have an opinion. So whatever. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, Super Yankee for life. Signing off. Peace.